Long-form AI videos like these have been popping up lately. And I just spent the last few weeks figuring out the best workflow to get those outputs. And if you've tried this yourself, you know how difficult it is to create a long AI video without having your character or location shift. With most methods, the longer your video is, the more chances there are for consistency to break. But I figured out the best way to get long cinematic outputs while keeping everything perfectly intact. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact workflow I use to create long AI clips, all while keeping all your assets consistent. Most people open up their video generator, type in a prompt, and just start generating. And then they wonder why their clips don't connect, why the character looks different in every shot, and why the whole thing feels like a random collection of scenes instead of an actual video. So the first thing I am going to do is open up Claude, paste in this prompt, and get back a full scene description for the video we are about to make. And this is actually the step that fixes everything. When you have a written scene description before you touch any generation tool, every asset you create and every clip you generate is pulling in the same direction. Without it, you are asking the AI to make creative decisions for you, and it is going to make different ones every single time. The more detail you put into this up front, the easier the prompting process is later too, because you are not inventing the story on the fly, you are just translating something that already exists. Now we have our story locked in, and every decision we make from here is going to come back to this. But before we start creating our videos, to maximize our consistency, we need a set of assets. The model has no anchor yet. It does not know what your character looks like or what the environment should feel like. Every clip is going to be a completely fresh guess, and the results are going to reflect that. So instead of jumping straight into video generation, we are going to build 3 assets first. And once those are locked in, every generation we run is going to reference them directly. This is the part of the workflow that most people skip because it feels like extra steps before the fun part. But these 3 assets are the entire reason the final video holds together. The platform I use for all of this is OpenArt, which is an all-in-one tool that gives us access to everything we need to create our videos. When you log in, you will land on the main homepage and you'll see multiple options: story, video, image, character, world, and audio. We are going to be moving between a few of these to create our outputs. The 3 assets we need before we touch the video generator are a consistent character, a full body styled image of them, and a location so the environment is consistent from shot to shot. Each one solves a different consistency problem, and they work together as a system. If you want to follow along with me, I've left a link for OpenArt in the description below. Let's start with the character. From the main homepage, I am going to click on Character, then Create Character. You'll see multiple options pop up, and depending on what type of character you want to create, each one has a different use. If you want to experiment and need something fast without having anything pre-built, then start with a description. If you want to build a fully consistent character that's completely made up, the Build Your Character option works best. But for this, I want the character to look just like me, so I'll select Start from an image and upload a picture of myself. A clear front-facing or 3/4 view shot works best, because it gives the model the most complete information about your facial features and proportions. The more clearly the model can read your face from the reference image, the more accurately it is going to reproduce it across every generation. I am going to upload my image, give the character a name I am calling her Isa, and hit Create. The training process only takes a few minutes. Once your character is saved, she gets her own tag. In our case, that is at Isa, and from this point forward, every single generation we run is going to include that tag in the prompt. The saved character tag locks her face, but it does not lock her outfit, her hair, or how she is styled overall. And this is a gap that catches a lot of people out. The overall look shifts in ways that make the video feel disconnected, even though the face is technically the same person. The fix is a full body reference image that defines exactly how she looks for your specific video. This becomes the visual contract for the whole project. Every clip we generate is going to reference this image, so the model knows not just who she is, but exactly how she looks in the video we're making. I am going to head back to the the main homepage and click on Image. For the model, I am selecting GPT Image 2. I will set the aspect ratio to 16:9, paste in the styling prompt. Make sure I am tagging it Isa so her face carries through into the image, and generate. I'm generating 2 variations so we can choose the best option. She still looks exactly like me, but now she's styled in jungle combat gear exactly like I asked to match our outputs later. This is the reference every video clip is going to pull from to keep her outfit and overall look consistent. Something worth noting here is that the 16:9 aspect ratio is intentional. We want this reference image to be as close as possible to the format our videos are going to be generated in. The more the reference matches the output format, the more cleanly the model translates the visual information across. Staying in the image generation workflow with the same model and aspect ratio, it's time to create our location. I'll paste in this prompt to generate the jungle temple interior. The attention to detail makes this look like a screenshot from a film. This is going to anchor the visual environment for our clips, and it gives the model a concrete reference for what this space looks and feels like, rather than leaving it to interpret the description on its own. The reason we generate the location as a separate asset rather than just describing it in the video prompt is the same reason we generate the styled character image. The visual reference gives the model far more specific information than text alone. When you hand it an image, it has a direct visual target to work from. Now that we have all 3 of our assets, it's time to create our cinematic videos. But first, I want to show you something about the video generation step that most people do not think about until it is too late. The way the reference assets change between clips is actually what creates the continuity across the whole video. And understanding this before you start generating is what separates a workflow that produces a cohesive final video from one that produces 3 clips that happen to feature the same character. Clip 1 uses both the styled character image and the location image as references. That establishes the look and the environment together in the first generation. Clips 2 and 3 drop the location image and replace it with the previous video as a reference instead. That is the key move. By feeding each new clip the video that came before it, you are telling the model to continue from where the last clip ended rather than starting fresh. The environment carries forward naturally. The motion flows, and the whole thing reads as one continuous piece of footage rather than 3 separate generations. Back on the main homepage, I am going to click on Video and select Seedance 2.0 as the model. This model works specifically well for this workflow, and it's what allows us to create long clips with consistency, if used correctly. Most AI video generators cap you at around 5 to 10 seconds per clip. Seedance 2.0 generates clips up to 15 seconds long. That is a significant difference for long-form narrative content because it means you need fewer clips to tell a complete story, and fewer clips means fewer consistency gaps to manage. On top of that, Seedance handles multi-shot sequences within a single generation along with audio. So instead of generating one camera angle at a time and hoping it flows into the next, you can describe multiple shots in one prompt, and the model executes them as one continuous clip with high-quality audio included. For our first clip, I am uploading image 1, styled Isa, and image 2, the jungle temple interior, as my reference images. Set the model to Seedance 2.0, the duration 15 seconds, write your prompt, and generate. What comes back is a strong first clip. The character is pushing through the jungle toward the temple entrance. The lighting is exactly what we described in the scene, and the multi-shot structure is working. We are getting multiple beats of action within one 15-second generation. That is the foundation the next 2 clips are going to build on. One thing I want you to notice is how the reference images are doing their job here. The outfit and the location are exactly like our reference images. For the second clip, instead of uploading the location image again, I am going to click the Upload button inside Seedance 2.0 and select Video 1 as the video reference. This tells the model to continue from where the last clip ended. I am still keeping image 1 as a character reference, so her look stays locked, but the environment and the motion now flow directly from the previous generation, rather than being re-established from scratch. I'll paste in this prompt. And you can see exactly how that continuity works. She still looks consistent, but she's now moving through the corridor and the whole clip feels like a natural continuation of the story. We are getting 5 different shots and a clear narrative progression all within one generation. If we were working with a 5-second model, we would need 3 or 4 clips just to cover this section, and every one of those transitions would be a new consistency risk. It's the same process for the 3rd clip, but now I am uploading the previous video and keeping image 1 as the character reference. I'll generate with this prompt. This is the moment everything has been building towards. Seedance can keep up with the intense action of the scene with only minor flaws. But honestly, considering how much it's handling all at once, there's simply no other model right now that could keep up. The character is consistent across all 3 clips. The environment escalates the way the story called for, moving from the jungle entrance to the corridor to the inner sanctum, in a way that feels like a real progression. And the audio across all 3 clips is building the way a proper action sequence should. Now that we have all our clips, it's time to put them all together for our final long-form AI video. I am using CapCut for this, but any editor works. I am going to import all 3 clips and arrange them in order. Once the clips are in order, I am going to pull in a music track to sit underneath the whole thing. The audio we generated with each clip handles the in-scene sounds, but the audio track is what ties all 3 clips together into one continuous audio experience. Now let's look at our final video. This looks really good. It's almost a minute long with a full narrative while still maintaining consistency across all the assets. With this workflow, you can create long AI videos without having your character shift every time you change scenes. And with OpenArt, you get access to everything you need under a single subscription. So if you want to create your own long-form AI videos, click the link in the description to sign up to OpenArt. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.